There's a debate going on in the motor industry right now about new technicians coming into the business to keep the trade going. Everyone has a car. Car is the second most expensive item they have, but there's no new techs coming in. You would wonder why. I don't think unionising it or any of that crack is going to work. Why? This is a 2020 engine. Valve has dropped a bit out of it and it's out on the ground. I have 30 years experience on this track, and even now when you're standing and looking at this, it's daunting for me. There's another engine sitting over here with a head gasket on it to be tore apart again. I just think that right now there's too much emissions related stuff in cars. Everything you touch has the potential to break, and it's on the technicians or mechanic that's doing it. So people are doing handy stuff, discs, pads, all that kind of crack, and they're right. Are they wrong? No, they're not. No, they're right, because that's where the fast, easy money is and less to go wrong in this trade. So I've lads coming from Dublin, Northern Ireland, Killarney, all the way around for us to take on these kind of jobs. Now, why? They're travelling because no one will touch them. They're travelling because garages don't have the staff or the younger lads with the expertise and the grit and the graw to go at these things. Like, where do you go? You have hours, days of taking yokes apart, putting yokes together, and then putting them back up into the hole that they're meant to be sitting in. And if it goes wrong, it's on our head, on the technician, on the mechanic. So I don't blame lads for not going and tackling big jobs like this. It puts serious pressure on the business as a whole, because there's all your small little stuff that comes in you don't have time to do. You're kind of held up and you're tied up with these bigger ones. Two lads probably trying to hit the bigger ones, one man trying to do the smaller ones. But the long and short of it, I think this business needs, what does it need? It needs a big incentivization. The people who are going to fall short on this thing and in this industry are the car owners. The big main dealers, the manufacturers, all they want is to sell you a new car. After 2 or 3 years when it's gone wrong, what they want to do then is get you back in. The technicians in the dealers are falling short as well. So they don't have the staff to repair, to do this kind of work. So what they'll do is they'll sell you a new car. But then what happens? You're at the loss of your £20,000 old car that is now worth $2,000 because it's broken. No one will fix it. And your banjacks, you just have to go again. So really what I think is the manufacturers are drawing as much money out of the actual owners or the customers because they're making these things basically disposable. Every item on this, when you're taking it out of that, is you're at risk of breaking and cracking and snapping yokes. You're hard to be up in your mouth, dropping them down, putting them back up, taking off pieces and putting them back together. It's just an hard trade to be in, and I can't blame lads for not taking on this stuff. I just do think that the long and short of it, the dealers have to be aware, the manufacturers have to be aware. Then the actual dealers have to be aware, and that's going to trickle away down to the aftermarket, and the aftermarket are us that are doing this stuff. We have to be all in the same pot, with the same kind of mindset. We're fixing these cars, or we are going to turn around then and say, okay, we'll go with the dealers, and we will say to people, customers, car owners, we can't fix them, just buy a new one. But that's no good to just millions of cars on the roads. And millions of people, millions of owners that have these cars that are worth lots of money. 15 car share is going to make 10, 15,000 at this point in time. And if it breaks and it's thousands of pounds, there's no option other than to do it. And if you don't go and do it, you have a car that's £16,000 worth $2,000. So you have to do it. The long and short of it is the manufacturers, the dealers and the aftermarket have to come together, have to start saying, right, we're going to open up and give you information and start making these things a little bit more robust. So you can't just lean on an injector there and break a plastic fuel line, or pull out of a plastic housing here and snap it in half and snap that thing in half. I know it's all weight derived and emissions derived, but the long and short of it is I think this is a tough trade to be in right now. As I said, with 30 years experience, so God bless the little young lads coming in that have to have the finesse to be really delicate, and when it gets hard and it's a big lump of steel in a bolt, have to have the brute to make yokes happen. It's the debate goes on. But anyway, here we are. There's my little tuppence worth. Peter Kennedy, Kennedy's Garage. I don't know if I'm on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. Please hit the, well, I don't know, follow button. It's on Instagram or something like that. But anyway, that's my cut on the manufacturers and the dealers and the aftermarket. Hope it makes sense. Bye, I'll talk to you soon. See you all in the next cartoon.